Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in today's Kill Team Octarius update, we'll be taking a look at some of the new rules for the terrain in Kill Team. It's been great fun over the past couple of weeks making all the video updates for the new Kill Team Octarius, as the Warhammer Community site have released information almost daily, and so all those videos are already on the channel if you'd like to catch up. And yesterday I did a Kill Team and Warcry comparison video based on everything we've learnt so far. But in this video we'll be focusing on today's update, which looks at the terrain in Kill Team and some new rules that apply to it. Okay, so let's get started, and here we are at the Warhammer Community site, and today's article on the 26th of July 2021 tells us that we're going to bring an Ork scrap town to life with the terrain in Kill Team Octarius. So let's go through the article together and we'll go through all the main points and new rules that they've included in here. And it's quite a short one today, but there is a few snippets of information that I think are pretty interesting, and also some hints towards where this could go that'll lead on to some more rules that we're going to find out once we get hold of that rulebook and can actually start playing the game. Alright, so here we go. So Kill Team Octarius will be here soon, and a lot of attention has been paid to the gobsmacking Ork Commandos and Death Corps of Krieg models, and they are awesome. Such great models in this. I couldn't think of a better box set, to be honest, for the two factions they've included. I think it's really interesting. I can't wait. But regarding a date for this, we still only know that it's August. It says it'll be here soon, but they said it would pre-order in August, but no actual date. But I'm still going with one of the subscriber suggestions on my channel that said possibly the third week of August for release. So we'll wait and see on that. But I can't wait to actually get the date, and hopefully by this weekend we'll find out a bit more information and get that date we're all waiting for. So each time we get an article, we get some new photographs and new images of the battlefields, and this one's looking awesome as well. And so it tells us that we've got ramshackle Ork town here, and can you spot the wreckage of an Ork flyer or the smashed hull of an Imperial industrial tractor in there? And here's the layout of the actual battlefield, so you can see it's going to be completely packed with terrain in this box set, and it's really going to fill up that battlefield. And this reminds me of Warcry. That original box set came with so much good terrain in there, and this is very similar. We've got that centerpiece of the pump there, and you've got the 4 pieces of terrain with a raised level, and then you've got all that scattered terrain as well. So it's really close in look and layout to that original Warcry starter set, so that's pretty interesting. Okay, let's keep scrolling down. So it tells us that the Kill Team rules have been completely rewritten for the new edition, and we know that already. We've gone through loads of updates so far, and all those videos are on the channel if you want to check those out. And some great rules as well. I'm so happy with the changes we've seen so far. But it tells us here that terrain has been given the same attention as everything else, and each piece in the box has a defined set of rules that affects how your operatives interact with it. And so as we scroll down, we're going to see the first example of this, and this is the traverse rule. And so with ramshackle barricades, these are light transversable terrain, and that means that operatives can take cover behind them, or they can hop across them using the traverse rules. And so for the traverse rule, it tells us here that a traverse is when an operative must clear a small obstacle in their way, such as a barricade or pipe. During an operative's move, it can ascend and descend terrain with a traversable trait at a cost of 1 white circle, but cannot finish a move on top of it. If this is not possible, it cannot traverse it, and it must move around it instead. And note that traverse is not a climb. The operative simply vaults over the obstacle in their way as it moves horizontally across the kill zone. So I actually like this idea of having a traversable trait at a cost of this white circle. I think it's going to make that whole charge phase or movement around the board a lot quicker. You know, you simply remove 1 circle of movement from your move characteristic, really quick and easy. And with the gauge that comes in there, if you can say, for example, have a movement characteristic of 3 white circles, you know, once you do the traverse, you can only use 2 white circles. So you're going to move really fast, but you've got to make sure you can clear it. So you'd really have to have, I would say, be 3 inches away from the barricade and a further inch to go past it to be able to make that traverse possible. So like it says here, if you can't, then you've got to go around instead. So I really like this rule. I think it's going to play out quite nicely on the battlefield. I do think it's going to speed things up, and you're not going to have to worry about measuring up and down little obstacles like this as you would in Warcry. It's going to just make that a little bit quicker. So I'm loving all these barricades and scatter terrains. It looks really great. And you've got these little fairy lights here that are having no tactical advantage at all, but certainly look funny on there. And as we scroll down, now we're going to see some different terrain, and these are the ramshackle walls. And these, it says in the article, are surprisingly sturdy given the haphazard way orcs build their structures. The lower walls are marked as heavy terrain, and these are solid enough that operatives can hide behind them completely or use them as cover, much like they would with the barricades. And you can also see that you've got an upper deck here, and this is called a vantage point, and this is a strategically important spot on a kill team battlefield. An operatives brave enough to climb up onto the rickety platform of crudely welded scrap will find it much easier to take shots at anyone hiding behind ground level cover. But exercise caution, because being up so high makes your combatants a juicy target in return. So if you've got those long range weapons that again aren't limited on the battlefield, they can shoot right across the battlefield, getting these vantage points with those long lines of fire are going to be perfect. And we got to know in one of the previous updates that there is an Overwatch rule as well. So if you can get a sniper up there, put them into Overwatch, you can cut off a good section of the battlefield and really cut down the movement of your enemy. And as we scroll down, we're going to find out a little bit more about the vantage point. And it tells us that a vantage point is a terrain feature with a vertical element, for example, a level higher than the floor of the kill zone, that operatives can be placed upon. If a part of a terrain feature is not defined as a vantage point, operatives can climb over or traverse it, but they cannot finish a move or be set up upon it. So these vantage points are going to play a huge part in the game. As we scroll down, we get to see this here, which is a heavy piece of terrain, but it's also a vantage point. And it says that orc vehicles guzzle fuel in alarming quantities. So crude oil pumps are a common sight among the Octarius sector's many greenskin shanty towns. Not only does the platform provide canny snipers with a perfect vantage point to pick off careless enemy operatives, but it also keeps them safe among the heavy metal tanks and girders around them. So yeah, this is going to be an important piece of terrain, and it's going to be really fun to make stuff like this, not just use the box set, but do some crafting and some kind of Poor Hammer style terrain building. I think it's going to be great fun to make more structures like this, and maybe even add a little bit more height, and we'll have to wait and see how the kind of movement and climbing rules apply to the game. But if we can add a bit more height, I think that's just going to be great fun, and yeah, more pieces like this would be awesome. So on this heavy piece of terrain, it says that heavy terrain provides cover and it's obscuring, and this is also going to have that vantage point as well. So that's all we're going to find out about this vantage point in heavy terrain, but let's have a look down another terrain rule, which is called Scramble. And so although the floor of a typical orc settlement is littered with all manner of scrap and rubbish that operatives can simply walk over, particularly large piles can build up into truly taxing obstacles. And we're not sure what this scrap pile is made of, but its Scramble trait means anyone hoping to move over it will find it particularly difficult. So this scatter terrain is really going to play a part, and I guess there's going to be some kind of measurement that makes this Scramble rule apply. Again, we're going to have to wait for the rulebook for that, I think, but it tells us here that an operative cannot climb over this part of the terrain feature. Instead, they must scramble over it, and to do so, an operative must perform a scramble over or charge over action. And I'm again assuming that that's going to have some cost. Doesn't tell us though in here what that cost's going to be. So again, a little bit more to wait for on that. So this reminds me of a lot of the terrain that came in the Catacombs book. And so the terrain we got for the dungeon terrain, there was some specific special rules for that dungeon terrain. So I think we're starting to see that in this Kill Team set too. So how they've set that out is pretty interesting. So, you know, we had those unique dungeon features. They're each coming with different rules. This is kind of reminds me a bit of that. So there we go. So that's the Scramble terrain, and that covers most of the rules that they're going to let us know about in this update. So it is just a short one, but as we scroll down, we can also see that the Kill Team Octarius box contains a 22-inch by 30-inch game board, and there are enough terrain pieces to pack it densely, as we saw from the picture, and lots of cover makes for nail-biting tactical games of Kill Team. And if you want to use this in your games of Warhammer 40k as well, they suggest that you put 2 boards together and then you get 2 lots of the scenery, and then that's going to be tons going on there to get ready to fight your enemies with. So that's really cool. And they also suggest looking at the Mech Boy workshop if you want to add a little bit more terrain and make it even more dense. But I think for me, well, I'll probably check out that Mech Boy workshop, to be honest, have a look and see how it'll fit in. But I'm looking forward to kind of crafting my own terrain for this. I think the theme really suits it. I think you can get some awesome pieces of junk to make this with and make it look kind of convincing for the narrative and for the setup. And so that's going to be a real fun part of Kill Team for me. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. So there we go, just a quick article. We've got a few more snippets of information to keep us going there, and I'm loving this so far. It's all been great, the couple of weeks building up to this, and hopefully this week we'll get some more articles and find out more information as the week goes on. But I'd love to know what you think about today's update and the terrain rules and how you think that's going to play in the game. So join in the comments section below. I love reading your comments, and it's great to hear what you think. Don't forget, I've got loads of videos on the channel for Kill Team already, so if you want to get up to date with all the updates we've seen so far, they're on the channel already. And also my Warcry and Kill Team comparison video is also up on the channel, and there's some really great similarities and differences between these two games, and it's been really fun to learn about this new Kill Team and then compare it with my favourite Warcry. I hope you're enjoying these update videos as much as I'm enjoying making them, and I can't wait to find out more information and make more videos as the weeks go on up to the release date. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page, and thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out, and you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description, and it'd be great to see you there.